Konnichiwa, minasan. O genki desu ka? Welcome to the advanced course of my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. In this lesson, we'll study the conjugation te-oku, which means to do something in advance for a future benefit. Yoroshii desu ka? Hajimemashou. The verb oku means to put, but when used as an auxiliary verb to the te form of a volitional verb, te-oku means to do something in advance for a future benefit or convenience. It is used to make sentences such as, I'll open the door in advance, nuance, so that people can freely come in later. Or, I turned on the AC in advance, nuance, so the room would be cool by the time the meeting started. Or, I'll eat dinner in advance, nuance, so that I won't feel hungry if the party I'm going to starts late. In Japanese, these kinds of sentences are expressed using the te-oku conjugation. The te form conjugation uses the te form of volitional verbs, meaning those verbs expressing action that you have control over. Volitional verbs also include active verbs and transitive verbs. When conjugating te-oku, it is the oku that is conjugated into the negative, past tense, te form, formal forms like te-okimasu, and so on. In fast speech, te-oku becomes toku or doku if the te form of the verb is nde. Formal forms include tokimasu and dokimasu. Let's contrast te-oku with te-aru, which we learned about in the previous lesson, lesson 89. With te-oku, we do something in advance for a future convenience or benefit. However, with te-aru, we did an action in the past to place an object X in a continued state so it is ready to use right now. In other words, for a current convenience or benefit. In te-aru sentences, the agent of the action is not mentioned and is not important, but in a te-oku sentence, the agent is usually the speaker. For example, the sentence using te-oku, doa wo akete oku. I will open the door in advance for the future convenience of being able to let people in when they return later. Te-oku sentences are constructed the usual way, and the door is the direct object taking the direct object particle wo. However, with te-aru, the focus is on the door. Doa ga akete aru. The door is in a state of being open because someone opened the door earlier, and it continues to be open, ready to let people inside right now. And the door typically takes the subject particle ga. The two, te-oku and te-aru, are related. We can say that because I opened the door in advance, the door has been opened and is now ready to let people in. And in Japanese, because I opened the door in advance, doa wo akete okimashita kara. The door has been opened and ready to be used. Doa ga akete arimasu. Doa wo akete okimashita kara. Doa ga akete arimasu. Let's do a quick review of how to form the te form of verbs. For category 1 or ru-dropping verbs, drop the ru ending of the dictionary form and add te. For example, the verb akeru, to open, becomes akete. For category 2 or last hiragana changing verbs, there are 9 kinds of verb endings: kugusu, bumunu, rutsu, and u. And here are their te forms. Ku becomes ite, gu becomes ide, su to shite, bumunu all turn to nde, and rutsu u all become utte. For conjugating category 2 verbs, it's the verb ending you need to pay attention to and what they turn into. And here are the te forms of the 3 irregular verbs that can be used for te-oku. Suru, to do, becomes shite. Kuru, to come, becomes kite. And iku, to go, becomes itte. For my sentence examples, I'll be recycling many of the examples in the previous lesson on te-aru and converting them into te-oku sentences. The dictionary form of the verb is on the upper left corner, and the number beside it indicates the verb category. To turn on is tsukeru, a ru-dropping verb. Reibou wo tsukete okimasu. Reibou wo tsukete okimasu. I'll turn on the air conditioner in advance, nuance, so that the room will be cool by, say, lunchtime when we use the room. To eat is 食べる。晩ご飯を食べておきました。晩ご飯を食べておきました。I ate dinner in advance. Possible nuance, so that I can act classy at the party and not have to eat a lot later. To put in is 入れる。コーヒーに砂糖を入れておきません。コーヒーに砂糖を入れておきません。I won't put sugar into the coffee in advance. Possible nuance, so that customers can put their own sugar in later as they like it. To throw away is 捨てる。ゴミを捨てておきませんでした。ゴミを捨てておきませんでした。I didn't throw out the garbage in advance. Possible nuance, and that's why the garbage truck wasn't able to collect it. To think is 考える。考えておく。考えておく。This is a very common expression. It means I'll think about it, and it's actually a polite way to refuse someone's request. And in fast speech, people say 考えとく, and in polite speech, 考えておきます. To quit or stop is やめる。やめとく。やめとく。Literally, I'll quit in advance. Or in other words, I'll beg off for now. This is another common expression that's used to turn down invitations. I'll beg off for now because I really can't make it. The te-oku conjugation can combine with other conjugations and modalities that you've already learned. We will show this in the next few examples. To write is 書く。黒板に記題を書いておいてください。黒板に記題を書いておいてください。Here we combine te-oku with te kudasai, which is the conjugation for request, as we learned in lesson 39. Translation: please write the agenda on the blackboard in advance. Possible nuance, so we don't have to do so on the day of the meeting. To open is 開ける。窓を開けておかないでください。窓を開けておかないでください。Te-oku is in combination with negative request, ないでください, please don't, as we learned in lesson 40. Translation: please don't leave the window open, in possible nuance, or thieves may get in. To call is 呼ぶ。タクシーを呼んでおきましょう。タクシーを呼んでおきましょう。Te-oku is in combination with let's or mashou, a form of invitation as explained in lesson 34. Translation: let's call a taxi in advance. Nuance, say so that we don't forget tomorrow. To stick or paste something is 貼る。壁にポスターを貼っておかなきゃ。壁にポスターを貼っておかなきゃ。Here, te-oku is in combination with なきゃ, which means must, and you can review the must conjugation in lesson 63. Translation: I must stick the posters on the wall in advance. Say because I've got no time to do that tomorrow. To take is 取る。あのレストランは予約を取っておかなくてもいい。あのレストランは予約を取っておかなくてもいい。Here, te-oku is in combination with なくてもいい, don't have to do, which we learned in lesson 52. Translation: that restaurant, we don't need to get advance reservations. Say because they're never full. To buy is 買う。お弁当を買っといた方がいいです。お弁当を買っといた方がいいです。Here we do a shortcut of te-oku in the past tense. Instead of 買っておいた, we say 買っといた and combine that with the advice conjugation た方がいい, which we learned back in lesson 56. Translation: it's better to buy the lunch boxes in advance. Possible nuance, because there are no more food shops on the way to our destination. To put is 置く. So in this example, we have two okus. 荷物をあそこに置いとけ。荷物をあそこに置いとけ。 Here we have a shortcut combined with rough command, which we learned back in lesson 41. Instead of oite-oke, we say oitoke. Translation: put the luggage in advance over there, say so that passengers can pick them up on their way out. To leave someone or something alone is horu. Hottoke. Hottoke. Here we combine shortcut with rough command. This is also a common way to brush people off, and it means leave me alone or back off. To put inside is ireru. 冷蔵庫に入れといたケーキはなくなった。冷蔵庫に入れといたケーキはなくなった。Here, our te-oku clause nominalizes the noun cake. You can review nominalizations with nouns in lesson 43. Translation: the cake that I put inside the fridge, say, to eat later on, has disappeared. To say is you. 言っておきたいことがありますか? 言っておきたいことがありますか? Here we have te-oku combined with tai, or the want to conjugation, which we learned in lesson 47. And the whole thing is nominalized with koto. You can review nominalization using koto in lesson 44. Translation: is there anything you want to say? Nuance here is so I can leave you with these words, like some sort of advice or warning for you to use in the future. The causative te form of a verb plus oku means to leave someone or something in their present state. If they're doing an action, then sasete-oku means to leave them to continue doing that action. And sasete-oku is only used to refer to those socially lower than you are. The speaker must not use it to a superior, as it would sound rude. You can review how to form the causative conjugation in lesson 80. To sleep is neru. Jiro-kun wo kaigan de nesasete oita. Jiro-kun wo kaigan de nesasete oita. I left Jiro sleeping on the beach. To play is asobu. 子供たちをしばらく遊ばせておこう。子供たちをしばらく遊ばせておこう。Let's leave the kids to play for a while. To drink is 飲む。彼にお酒を飲ませておきたくない。彼にお酒を飲ませておきたくない。Here we combine sasete-oku with takunai, don't want to, and you can review the don't want to conjugation in lesson 47. Translation: I don't want to leave him drinking, say because he might drink and drive. To clean is 掃除する。君に全部掃除させておけないよ。君に全部掃除させておけないよ。Here we combine sasete-oku with a shortcut ability conjugation, okenai. You can review the ability conjugation in lesson 57. Translation: I can't leave you to clean everything, you know. To summarize, in this lesson, we examined the te-oku conjugation. Te-oku means to do something in advance for a future convenience or benefit. The action is done on purpose by an agent, usually the speaker. And te-oku can combine with other modalities or conjugations that you've already learned to make a wider variety of sentences and nuances. The te form of the causative conjugation of a verb combined with oku forms sasete-oku, which means to leave someone or something in their current state doing whatever action it is they're doing. The sasete-oku conjugation is used to refer only to social subordinates and is not used with one's superior. And this ends our lesson on te-oku. Thanks for watching. Otsukare-sama deshita. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly upon. So please click like, share, or subscribe and watch the next video in the series. 日本語の勉強に頑張ってください。じゃあ、またね。